All right, let me ask you a question. The Granit Xhaka situation happened at Arsenal when they played Crystal Palace and that. I mean, back then I was peed off, but I was peed off at the fact that Emery made him captain. I put out a video on my channel basically saying, listen, the writing's on the wall. Emery left him on the sword. People were frustrated with Granit Xhaka anyways. Some people don't like him. Some people do like him. But the fact is, the matter is, he wasn't playing well at that point. But Emery consistently played him when he needed to be out of the team, even for his own benefit. And then, honestly, I think it was a game before, I can't remember what game it was, but he come off, and then there was ironic jeering as well. Like, even watching the game, I thought, wow, he's actually coming off. Surprising. Do you know what I mean? And then the Palace thing happened, and then Xhaka was all waving his arms about, screaming, and the whole fuck off thing happened, and then he just started stamping his feet, having a little temper tantrum on the pitch. Then dashing the captain's band, and then dashing like on the floor, well, basically through it, and then throwing his shirt. Do you know what I mean? And then another thing I have to say is that Ozil did the same thing, but I didn't hear the same energy. I did not feel or hear the same energy from Mesut Ozil, because Ozil was just, you saw the Europa League final when we got battered by Chelsea, right? You saw the look on his face, the look that said, look, I'm done, I can't be asked, right? Then he pretty much did the same thing. I think Mikel Arteta was the manager when he kind of had he kicked his gloves, right? With the Xhaka thing, like, since then, I've kind of understood certain things, like, you're a human, you shouldn't really be getting booed like that. Was disappointing for the fans to be ironic jeering at him, but at the same time, Xhaka could not be, like, dashing the captain's armband like that. I still stand by that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's something makes you channel your energy in it. I understand if you're frustrated, fair enough. But, again, for both sides, everyone got it wrong that day. That's my personal opinion, looking back on it. But the Ozil thing, kicking your gloves off, hold on one second. The Ozil thing, like kicking the gloves and that, no one was giving the same energy. Why was no one giving Ozil the same energy as Xhaka that day? So I kind of felt bad for Xhaka looking at the Ozil thing. Do you know what I'm saying? In hindsight. But Xhaka was getting abused every single day as well. You know, like in his inboxes, people threatening his family, his wife, his daughter, etc., all over social media. So even that was getting to him. And then, you know, the year like, I think with Xhaka, it kind of just blew up. You know, so I don't know. It's like the fans. I feel like the fans are kind of really it gets to a lot of players. Like we were just talking about Pogba as well. Like they have their favourites, and they don't boo their favourites when they're playing rubbish. And they just boo the players they don't like. And I feel that's really unfair, you know?
I think with the Xhaka situation, I think Xhaka gets a lot of bad press.
It's not my favourite. He's decent, mate.
For me, as a neutral, I don't think he's amazing, to be fair. And I honestly, when I look at him play, I don't feel like he should be in the team week in, week out. However, this is a bit of a contradiction, to be fair, but he does make a massive difference when he is in the team to when he's not in the team. Do you mean? I think it's just a little bit less confusion when he's in the team, but there's still not much clarity when he's in the team, if that makes sense. And that's a proper like head spin, but yeah.
It's hard because we haven't lost a game since he's been in. So
there you go. He serves a purpose, which is it's not you know, he does serve a purpose. I will say that. I think the whole armband thing, I think even if he had a water bottle in his hand, he would have thrown it down. I think just at that point in his Arsenal career, or that point in time, he was just annoyed. Regardless, no matter what it was, he would have just thrown it down. I don't think it was necessarily a diss to the shirt or a diss to the armband. I think that's just a human just letting out his frustration in the way that he feels best. I mean, with the Ozil thing, I think Ozil was kind of similar as well. But I think Ozil's at the point where he's just like, I'm fed up of, if I'm not being booed, then I got certain people in the media blasting me. If I'm not playing, I've got people on my back talking about how much I'm making on a weekly basis. Not to forget though, when he got robbed, no one really backed him. Everyone was talking about, well, he didn't even get robbed, but when he nearly got robbed, everyone's talking about, yeah, Kolasinac, he's a hero. No one really said, right, Ozil, like, you good, sort of thing.
I think a lot of us did. I do get what you're saying. I think a lot of us did, but it wasn't shown. I do hear what you're saying. Like, there wasn't a lot of people. Yeah.
From what I saw on my side, I just saw a lot of, Kolasinac is man them, Kolasinac is this, Kolasinac is that. And it's just like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, he done his thing. He done what a lot of people probably wouldn't do, but Ozil was the one that was about to get robbed in front of his missus.
They were all going to get robbed. They were all in the same car. You know what I mean? Like, and then Ozil's girlfriend was pregnant at the time. That's a scary moment too. You have to consider.
Also, to add to his frustrations as well, yeah. Remember, every week, he's on 350k, but he's on the bench. He's not playing. He's this, he's that, he's the other. But what you got to look at as well is this is one of the most charitable players in the game. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, there's not many players you see giving out their money just like that or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether he performs on the pitch or not, it's neither here nor there. Do you know what I mean? The fact is that he is a human. Do you know what I mean? Like you're bound to get frustrated. You're bound to get irritated. No matter if you said to any Joe average, all right, you're at work, your boss is on your head every minute. He's chatting this, he's saying that, he's saying the other, saying this, saying that. Then he goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to take you to the senior manager. Goes to her. She's on your head. He's on your head. And then you're getting criticism from them, but then also not just them. It's then coming from their social group. Because in companies, you always got a social group that kind of get along and they share opinions on a lot of things. They don't necessarily have their own opinion. They kind of share it with whoever's kind of leading the pack, sort of thing. And as an employee, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid 500k a year, 50k a year, 25k a year, 17k a year, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get frustrated at the fact that, hold a minute, I'm just being criticized left, right, and center by this person, that person, the other person. And it's just like, what am I really doing for you to criticize me in that manner? Do you mean? Because there's constructive criticism, and then there's being picky. Do you see what I mean? And with Ozil, I feel like even when he plays well, it's like, he didn't play like that 2 weeks ago, or how come he didn't play like that last year? And it's just like, give him a break. Do you know what I mean? Because no one forgets when Arsenal's wearing the blue kit with the lime green on the sleeve, and then he picked the ball up and he ran with the ball and he chipped the kit. No one forgets that goal. Do you mean? Because Ozil's on form now. We want to rate him.
Like, you've heard me talk to you about Ozil privately. Like, obviously, I've vented my frustrations at you about Ozil. I've just said, listen, I just feel we need to move on from him personally. Yeah. Now, going back to the whole contract situation, remember at that time, bro, I said to you, listen, Ozil can go, Sanchez can go. I said to you blatantly, those two can go, because it clearly shows, for one, we needed to start again anyways, and two, it just seemed like to me like their heart weren't in it anymore, innit? Which I can understand, because Arsenal at that time, and still now, innit, aren't really doing anything. Now we kind of see more of a direction. It's still going to take time, but it's very, very, very early in Mikel Arteta's career. But under Wenger, it was so tentative, because you got Wenger out, people, you got Sanchez, what's going on? He's going to Man City, right? Before he went to Man United, of course. And then the whole Ozil thing, like, it was a lot of turmoil at that time. Do you know what I mean? And let's face it, the Arsenal fan base is split into so many different slices of cake. You don't even know what a person thinks. For example, I thought Aaron Ramsey should have stayed. Some people might disagree with me. Some people be like, why would you want him to stay? He's always bloody injured. Well, for me, he's done more than Ozil. And he's done way more than Ozil's done in the last 7 years at this club. 6-7 years at this club. That's a fact.
He's been there for that long. Jesus.
That's what I'm saying to you. And the weirdest thing is when you look at it, we had so many players that played in that cam position. Cazorla, Ozil, Ramsey. Like, we got 3 guys that were just underutilized. We had Santi drop back to make way for Ozil. Ramsey was either injured or he had to drop back because either Cazorla was injured or what. Do you know what I mean? And then with Ozil always injured, and you know, we don't see him do enough against the top 6 sides away from home. It's very frustrating for an Arsenal fan who really wants to see their club actually change direction. But, you know, for me, it's always down to the player, but definitely down to the manager and above. So, again, it's just a bad mix. And I feel like, you know, when we got Ozil, we thought, okay, well, are we turning the corner, etc., etc.? Because remember, we weren't really spending much. All our best players were going, etc. And, you know, we were told, promised, lied to for years and years and years. Because next thing you know, Aubameyang, like I said, just turned up and like, wait, what? So what, we can buy these type of players now? Yeah, but still, we look even more worse off now than we did then. So it's a lot of frustration. And besides, like, when you look at the board, they're the real perpetrators in giving Ozil that contract. Because why did you give Ozil 350 X amount of money? And besides, you know Arsenal's a self-sustaining model. So whatever they earn, they can use, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, why would you max yourself out in going to get X amount of players? Like, hell, the rumor is we didn't get Kante because we didn't want to pay his agent a certain fee. But yet we spent a little bit more extra to go and get Granit Xhaka. We spent a little bit more extra getting Squadron Mustafi for, I can't remember who the centre back was, but for them, we could have got Van Dijk for 15 mil. We didn't do it. So many players that we wanted, you know.
What, from where? Southampton?
I think Southampton or Celtic, I can't remember. I think it might have been Celtic. But even so, you know, why are we not able to get these guys? Dude, do you remember when I used to say to you back in the day about Mane at Southampton? I said, Mane be cross for Arsenal. And then Liverpool go and go, do you know what I mean?
Hold on. One second.
But yeah, man, it's just a big mess, and I feel like with us, we're just tired to move on, man. It's as simple as that. But Arsenal giving him that contract is just, I don't know, it messed him up even more. But at the same time, it's like, you know, they messed themselves up. I feel like right now, Arsenal are just trying to build something. I'm not sure exactly what, but I'm just going to sit back and wait. But everyone's waiting for the moment Ozil's gone. We ain't really seen Ozil do anything on a consistent level. So it's just about getting someone more consistent in that midfield who's creative and actually likes to score goals. Because let's face it, Ozil does not score enough goals. There was a game, I think it was against...
Let's check his numbers. Let me check his numbers.
Check his numbers. Like, dude, I'm telling you. There was one game, I think it was West Ham at home. He preferred to pass than shoot. I'm like, the goal was open, shoot. He just didn't shoot. It's like, you're seeing something totally different then to us.
Look, there's a report 19 hours ago saying that Mikel Arteta leaves Mesut Ozil and Matteo Guendouzi in doubt about their Arsenal futures. Arsenal would love to sell Ozil this summer, a star stuck on Gunners' fringe again.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the right money comes for, I don't think we're going to get much. We could get much for Ozil. Them wages ridiculous. Guendouzi on the other hand,
saying that though, before we jump to the Guendouzi situation, with Ozil, yeah, his scoring record is, so for Schalke, he scored none in 30 appearances. Werder Bremen, he scored 13 in 71. Real Madrid, he scored 108. No, sorry, Real Madrid, he had 105 appearances and he scored 19. Arsenal, his best scoring club, because obviously he's made the most appearances, 184 games and 33 goals. So,
but look how many years he's been there though, compared to all the other clubs. He's had a longer stay at Arsenal than Real Madrid, Werder Bremen, and Schalke. Let's be honest.
It's 7 years. So because he's been at all the other clubs. It was between 2 and 3 years he was at the club. So Schalke was
Been
2
there for
years.
6.
Real Madrid was 3 years. Werder Bremen 2 years. Arsenal 7.
Exactly. So he's had enough time to get those type of goals. But look, how many appearances? 184. I could probably get 200 appearances. And how many goals did you say he's on?
33.
33. I could probably just get up to 40 with 200 appearances. Yeah, I have to look at Ivan Gazidis because it's like you weren't really trying to challenge them. You know? So it's like if you bought all the tools around Van Persie, Nasri probably would have stayed. Fabregas probably would have stayed, etc., etc. Then maybe we might have been pushing for the title. We might have had one more title or 2. You don't know. But at the same time, like it's a mess. That's why I don't. With Van Persie, it's like it's all hot and cold, isn't it? It's not just because he left to win the title, Man United. I get that. It's done. It's done. Do you know what I mean? Because we had the conversation about Thierry Henry. Man left and went to win the Champions League with Barcelona. The same Barcelona that beat us in that final. But like, do you know what I mean? It's just such a mess. Like, I love Henry, but it is what it is. People move on. From when he left, that's what I got in my head. Like, do you know what? We're not really doing nothing. We're not doing nothing. The first clue was Patrick Vieira, but it was what it was, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Even though Vieira was kind of like, he needed a new challenge, etc. Which, I mean, you just went invincible. Your last trophy was beating United in the FA Cup final. All right, that's what a swan song. Wenger didn't leave on a high like that.